Hello, everyone. Yair Spitz here from the field. So I came back yesterday afternoon, and it was very nice to come back. There's a certain familiarity already, and the moment you come back, everyone kind of gets up. Everyone's excited to see you. Everyone's kind of hugging, and it's strange because it was gone for, two and a half days. Um, but there's a certain sense of camaraderie that develops when you're in the field for days and days and weeks upon weeks. It's combination of being together 24/7, but it's not just the question of the amount of time; it's also the setting. What we've been through together, all the way from meeting up after the events, processing everything that happened together, the stress and the intensity of the first few weeks when we were actively engaged in with Gaza, coming up north. There's a certain intensity that is not similar to anything I've ever experienced. So, it's even though it's been only 2.5 days, to be greeted with such smiles and hugs from everyone, and how was it at home, and what did you do, and it's really a wonderful feeling to have. So today we had two guests who came separately to visit, to go through all of the different small units in our battalion to speak to us. The first was the battalion commander, and he's usually not so much around, or if he is, he's sitting in the command center, or going off base to meet with higher ups, to talk strategy and big picture things. And today he decided to visit each one of the smaller units, sit down, talk to us a little bit. He's a very, very business-oriented person. So he sat down, he said, could we make coffee? That was, I guess, the most emotional that he got. And then he went on for about 45 minutes and giving us a very broad picture of everything that's happening. I can't discuss almost any of it. We also had to remove our phones, in case something can be picked up through our phones, and giving us a very, very broad perspective of everything that's happened from a military perspective over the last month. What's happening in Gaza, what the predictions are, what the plans are, what the expectations are of how things are going to develop there, how long it's expected to take down there, how the army defines each one of the areas that it's operating in, down south, up north, in Yehuda v'Shomron and Judea and Samaria now. So it was really not just interesting; it was very actually gave a sense of confidence that there's someone who's thinking about the big picture from a military perspective. And one of the things that he, gave us a chance to ask a lot of questions, and it really was very eye-opening. And like I said, it filled us all with a sense of confidence, which was important. And one of the things he also discussed is the fact that as far as the army is concerned, the definition is that 2024 officially is going to be a year of defined a year of war, meaning the mindset of the army is that all of next year will still be dedicated in various ways to these various confrontations or possible confrontations. He went on to explain that doesn't mean that all of us are still going to be doing reserve duty for all that time. It just means that the mindset of the army is that's the mindset of the army, and he spoke a little bit about what we could expect as of right now, with the weeks or months to come, and the fact that there is such a thing as both weeks and possibly months to come in one variation or another. And what was interesting to see is you would have expected people to be upset, or people to show some being annoyed, or saying, is it really needed, what are we really doing here, things of that sort. But no one said any such thing. It was very matter of fact. It was clear to everyone that if this is what's needed right now, if this is our mission, if we're going to be here for not only weeks but possibly months, then everyone, then it's clear that this is what we're going to do. And just to understand how meaningful and significant that is, so it became clear to me when later in the day we had someone else come speak to us, and this is, I don't know the term in English, in Hebrew it's called shalishut. So this is a department in the army that, among other things, is responsible for the rights of soldiers, as far as he can speak to us about salaries, compensations, things of that sort. So I won't talk about it in detail. I don't know how much it interests people, but then he opened up for people to ask personal questions about their specific situations, and I was reminded about the fact that everyone who's been in this war, been called up, have been in doing this for a month, and not just that people have been away from home, they've been away from work, and there are a lot of people here who are, for instance, have their own businesses, and if they're not working, they're not generating income. They're not, they have customers who are going to leave. You have doctors here whose patients are going to go to someone else, and it made me realize that people are not just putting their life on the line. They're not just leaving their families. They're also putting their livelihood on the line. Some more, some less. Some are more fortunate, like me. I work for a family business, and the family business not only understands but fully supports what I'm doing, and I save maybe 3, 4, or 5 emails or phone calls since the beginning of the war. I haven't dealt with work at all, and I see that as a true. And I'm sure there are many businesses like that see it, understand that, and are proud of their workers, that are out there defending the country, defending them. But there are a lot of people that don't have that luxury, and those are people that are putting their family's livelihood on the line as well. And even if the army, pays some compensation, it definitely doesn't cover all of it, and definitely doesn't cover the financial loss that they'll experience, once the war is over. And they've lost clients, they've lost customers, they've lost business relationships. And it made me think, as I was thinking about it, that it's mamash like Kriyat Shema, like the first verse of the prayer or the psukim of Shema Yisrael, that we say V'ahavta et Hashem Elohecha b'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol meodecha. And one of the explanations there, we should love Hashem with all of our heart, with all of our nefesh, our soul, spirit. V'chol meodecha, and Chazal explain B'chol meodecha. Literally, meodecha would mean all of your much, and Chazal explain with all of your mammon, with all of your possessions, with all of your money. And what you have here is Mesiut Nefesh of hundreds of thousands of people who not only are putting their life on the line, not only putting their spirit, their relationships with their family and their kids on the line, they're also putting their money on the line, and they're losing money. And then earlier in the day, they heard from the battalion commander that they might, this is not going to be over in weeks, and for some of us, it won't be over for months. And no one batted an eyelash. It was clear to everyone. And to be able to be part and to witness hundreds of thousands of Jews who are willing to be moser nefesh in all of the possible levels for Am Yisrael and for Medinat Yisrael, for Eretz Yisrael, is a wonder to see, and to be able to be part of it, and to be able for all of us to live at a time to witness it. Hundreds of thousands of Jews being moser nefesh in every possible way. For the safety and security of Am Yisrael, and for the victory of good over evil, as representatives of Am Yisrael, representative of Hashem. All these cliches, they're just unfolding in front of our eyes on a daily basis. And it's we are lucky to be alive at a time like this, and to think about this, to focus on this, to repeat this These are the things that we should be thinking about. These are the things that we should be thankful for. These are the things that we should be focusing on to give koch to all of the soldiers who are doing this and who will continue doing this for a long time, while many people are starting to get back to their normal lives.